Hi everyone, my name is Francesca Meiti Santos from Philosophy 23 EDA. I would just like to apologize in advance if there would be unnecessary noises because I'm in a really noisy environment and this is my least to most fortunate time to record. So moving forward, the first question is, what is the relevance of my study in ethics for my chosen course or career? To inform you, I am actually an education student, so studying ethics has now become my coping mechanism in making worthy life decisions. Ethics had taught me a lot of things in a short period of time, such as making a decision that is for the better good of the community and not just of me. So a teacher's possession of these principles will allow teachers to display moral and ethical values, which includes a sense of right and wrong, treating others with respect, being objective, patient, and compassionate. Embodying ethical knowledge gives the teachers the ability to practice their teaching skills with morals and ethics and not just viewing their job as being teaching only. It goes beyond the curriculum, assessment, and technical conditions of the profession. So the practicing of ethical knowledge by the teacher can be modeled by returning graded papers to the student in a timely manner by being sensitive to the use of classroom materials that may offend some students, using precaution when displaying a student's work, or by selecting student achievement without bias. The use of ethical knowledge by a teacher can be expressed by the way a teacher projects the tone of his or her voice towards the student by avoiding student embarrassment and by reminding students of how their behavior can affect other classmates. There are many ways to show how a teacher can demonstrate their ethical knowledge, but a teacher can only do but so much to implement moral and ethical behavior on a daily basis. As we may know, teaching can be a very demanding profession with moments of chaos, frustration, and unexpected events of the day. This tells us that a teacher's reaction to these situations cannot be choreographed and why the practice of ethical knowledge can help teachers become aware of their ethical behavior when such events occur. So it's really actually very important that I study ethics because I will be a future teacher and whatever I do, my students will imitate and therefore, I should set forth a good example for them. The next question is, which philosophical framework or principles did you find most helpful in determining the best course of action in making ethical decisions? So, I highly adore the 4 cardinal values amongst all the other principles because it seems like life revolves around it. Prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance plays a huge role in determining what actions I would do every single day. Prudence is present to help me think not just once or twice but many times before I proceed to make a decision that would may or may not affect me. Justice widens my scope of knowledge in terms of including the others in decision making. I have to consider that I don't just make decisions for myself, but also for the people around me. So, I should think for the community's better good. Fortitude reminds me of my goal every day and how I would be tested by faith. Yet I should always be reminded to still continue with my decision regardless of the doubts, if it would go wrong or right, as long as it is for the betterment of everyone. And temperance. It is a must-obtain discipline. It weighs everything and helps us understand a person or a decision's value. It keeps us motivated and it helps us focus our eyes on the goal only. So these values affect me as a person who is able to make a decision, and as a future teacher who will make decisions for my future class as well. The third question is, as a future professional, how would you promote and uphold making or doing ethical decisions or course of action? Obviously, as a future teacher, I would transparently show them the decisions affect us as a person and affect our community as well. I will tell them the pros and cons of making a decision based on personal interest and community development. And through this will help them grow for sure, as certain as it did for me. Just like what I said on the first question, everything I do, my students will imitate. So, as a future professional, it is my duty and responsibility to give them something worthy and something good to copy, to imitate, to nurture, and to preserve, so that they will also embody that ethics and pass it on to the next generation. That would be my answer for this final requirement. Thank you so much for listening.